Guess what? This is a spoiler warning. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3 heavily, and The Bad Batch Season 2 ever so lightly. If you haven't watched them, proceed with caution. I'm not going to hold back on this one. I'm going to do things a bit differently today. Why does that word differently sound so out of place? I know it's grammatically correct in this case, but never mind. Anyways, I'm going to make this video different than the others of the past few weeks. I did a video yesterday about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 3, or Chapter 19, The Convert. Why did I stress that word? Well, it's 3 a.m. and I want to make sure I said it right this time. But I usually do a video about the latest episode of The Mandalorian. Then the following day I do one about The Bad Batch Season 2. But I only have a few words to say about this latest episode of The Bad Batch, and I really want to talk about The Mandalorian again. Why? Because I freaking love The Mandalorian. Not just the show, but the lore that drives it, the history, canon, and legends. But that's what I'm going to do. A short thought on The Bad Batch, and a longer thought on some Mandalorian Season 3 stuff. But before I kick into overdrive and bore you all with bad jokes and my Bob Ross-esque voice about The Bad Batch and The Mandalorian, a quick word from someone who has 2 thumbs and sponsors this channel. This guy. Crap, I hope I don't lose a thumb at work now. Then I'll have to change this shameless plug. Oh well, I have 2 thumbs. Sorry, a little sidetracked. But then again, if I did lose a thumb, maybe I can get a large prosthetic and call it Big Thumb, relative to Big Feet. Okay, I need to just shut up about it now. Hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. I'm on a voyage to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'd like you all to be a part of that journey. I know every YouTube channel asks for your subscription, yada yada yada, but I absolutely promise to deliver on my word. With me, you'll get the best Star Wars content YouTube has to offer, all original content. So let's make this Star Wars channel dope together, and booyah! With that said, let's go on with The Bad Batch and The Mandalorian. Like I said, The Bad Batch will be first, but you won't want to miss the Mandalorian stuff. Stick around for the whole thing, I promise you'll get a couple of surprises. In the latest episode of The Bad Batch Season 2, we see that Phee Genoa isn't what she once seemed. Her many travels and exploits are for a good reason. She's actually trying to protect a culture that's made up of many different cultures combined. It's a beautiful place, full of happiness and sushi. But as with most things in our world, if it seems too good to be true, then it probably is. But the bad in the newfound promised land of the Bad Batch doesn't come in the form of the Empire, pirates, or ne'er-do-gooders. Nay, it comes in the form of a natural disaster. A 100-foot tsunami nearly wipes out the town and threatens the citizens' very existence. We finally get to see Omega be a child. She's made a friend, and they say a friend made during crisis is a friend forever. Wait, did they really say that? Or did I make it up out of an actual quote? I guess it doesn't matter. The meaning is the same. But the biggest threat to the peaceful existence of the Bad Batch's new paradise may be brought on by the Bad Batch themselves. Remember, the Empire is very interested in Omega, so this isn't the happy ending we're led to believe. Remember, there are 3 episodes left of the Bad Batch, and maybe we will see Crosshair again. Maybe. But that's really all I have to say about the Bad Batch.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, now you can stand up and stretch, crack your knuckles, and turn on your caps lock. It's time for more Mandalorian content. The 3rd episode of The Mandalorian Season 3 is titled The Convert. Convert. Say it with me so I don't mispronounce it in my half-asleep state again. Convert. How many of you actually said it out loud? I did. Anyways, I have some thoughts on this episode that I didn't discuss before, dealing with the double storyline, some predictions, and one thing we all may have missed. Yeah, no, it's not in the thumbnail. Sorry. but I will talk about that too. Yeah, I don't usually do Easter egg videos, but this one seems kind of big. But first, the double storyline. Most of the episode of The Mandalorian has to do with Dr. Penn Pershing, the former cloning scientist for the Empire, and more specifically, Moff Gideon. He was most notable in the field of sanctioning the kidnapping of Grogu, only known as Baby Yoda at that time, by us, because his name was a secret, for some weird reason. But now, the mad scientist is rehabilitated and working for the New Republic. Converted, yeah. That is, until he gets caught trying to steal lab equipment from a decommissioned Star Destroyer. Okay, coaxed into stealing it and then betrayed by a former colleague under the employ of Moff Gideon. He was converted into believing the New Republic was going to do things differently, that they weren't the Empire. As he is being rehabilitated again, Elia Kane, the former communications officer to Moff Gideon, turns the mind-flaying machine up to 11, but Pershing doesn't see who did it. For all he knows, it was the New Republic technicians. This is going to alter the way Pershing views the New Republic. He was lied to about how minimally evasive this procedure was going to be. All signs of this scene pointed to someone wanting retribution for Pershing's turn against Moff Gideon. But what if it wasn't Moff Gideon who ordered this hit? Sure, he's rumored to have escaped or been mind-flayed or something, but what if it's someone more elusive? What if it's actually Grand Admiral Thrawn who sent Elia Kane, to change Pershing's views on the New Republic and bring him back to the arms of the Empire and rejoin what's left of the Empire in what could be the biggest comeback of a Star Wars character. Yeah, I didn't misspeak when I called Elia Kane Eli Vanto. Eli Vanto. If you don't know who Eli Vanto is, Eli was an underling to Thrawn, a prodigy, with a beginning career in the Empire, then transferred over to the Chiss Expansionary Fleet. Eli Vanto then became a trusted officer to Admiral Ar'alani, Thrawn's closest friend in the Chiss military. Now, I could be wrong about Elia Kane and Eli Vanto being the same person, but it would be a huge twist, wouldn't it? And hiding the identity of Eli Vanto to gain access in the New Republic wouldn't be so far-fetched. If you're saying, well, there's no proof that Thrawn's return is hinted at. Yes, it is. When Bo-Katan, Kreese, and Din Djarin finished their little swim of life, they returned to Bo-Katan's planet. While evading and destroying TIE interceptors, Bo-Katan's castle is bombed to complete uselessness. Directly following, a squadron of even more interceptors shows up. Bo-Katan then mentions that this squadron is too big to be an Imperial overlord or warlord. If we know anything about Grand Admiral Thrawn, he would be the one to have the largest backing in the remnant Imperial military, and it could even be likely that Moff Gideon was actually under the watchful eye or even employ of Thrawn. With Elia Kane or Eli Vanto sent to monitor Gideon, it seems like a stretch. I may be wrong. But how big would this twist be? Huge, gross, grande. Yeah, it would subvert some of my other Thrawn theories, but it would make for an interesting story. And who knows, my other Thrawn theories could still happen, even if this is the case. So Thrawn's behind Moff Gideon. Elia Kane is actually Eli Vanto. Got it? Good.
But wait! There's more!
A lot of you have already figured out this next bit, but I want to chime in on it for a second and add a little bit more to it. The title of the episode is called The Convert. Yeah, I said it right. And we are led to believe that Dr. Pershing is the titular character. But what if it's actually Bo-Katan Kreese? A lot of people have speculated that Bo-Katan is actually withholding her knowledge of the mythosaur so she can usurp the throne, to become the leader of all Mandalorians. But I don't think that's the case. If Bo-Katan reveals the truth about the mythosaur, she's going to be seen as a little off her rocker. The mythosaur has been believed to be extinct for centuries, and if she says she alone saw one after her dismal defeat as Mandalore, she's going to be seen as a liar, someone desperate to legitimize her claim to the throne. Remember, songs of eons past tell of the story of the mythosaur rising to unite the Mandalorians. Bo-Katan would know this tale, and Ursa Wren, Rook Kast, the armorer, would see it as a ploy. Bo-Katan will have to be tactful and show the other Mandalorians when they return to Mandalore, and they will return to Mandalore now that they know the air isn't poison. But the point is that Bo-Katan isn't up to no good. She isn't a ne'er-do-gooder. I like that term. Rolls off the tongue nicely. Ne'er-do-gooder. Yeah, anyway, Bo-Katan is actually the convert the title speaks of. She's lost everything in her old way of thinking, her home, her following, and her faith in herself as a leader. Everything Bo-Katan has led has gone to crap. Now, it's time for her to take on a new way of thinking, and maybe this covert, that she once believed to be fanatical has something to it. And uniting all Mandalorians means uniting all Mandalorians, not just the one Bo-Katan Kreese agrees with. And there's something to be said about how the Children of the Watch have survived and even grown. Again, I could be wrong, but I may make videos on each of these topics later. If you'd want that, let me know in the comments. But I did promise you all something that may have been missed. I honestly don't know if anyone has covered this. I try not to watch other YouTube channels until I get all my thoughts out. That way, everything I say is funky fresh. At least in my own mind it is. But there's a scene. You know, the scene when Dr. Pershing is first shown in his cubicle categorizing Imperial tech. The guy wearing the white stormtrooper boots walks by and has a little chit-chat. Yeah, he's wearing stormtrooper boots, if you didn't notice. But that isn't the thing I was talking about. The man greets Pershing and says Happy Bendu Day. If you don't know what or whom the Bendu was, it was a character in the Star Wars Rebels series, a Force sensitive that claimed allegiance with neither the light side of the Force nor the dark side. He was the one in the middle. The Bendu guided Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger, changing the way they saw the Force. But more importantly, the Bendu battled with Grand Admiral Thrawn, and it gave him a prophecy. The Bendu pretty much said that Thrawn will fall and fail, in a nutshell. This greeting and celebratory day commemorates the Bendu and his sacrifice in that battle. But more importantly to us, Happy Bendu Day is another sign that Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger are going to return, and that the Bendu's prophecy still isn't fulfilled. But it will be. It's probably the biggest hint we've had, other than those claiming to have sources inside Lucasfilm with leaks. I take those with a grain of salt, just like the rumors started by whomever that Din Djarin was pulled into the living waters by the mythosaur was actually confirmed by Dave Filoni. Yeah, Dave Filoni wouldn't confirm that, especially since we know it wasn't true, and why would he confirm it before it was revealed? Anyways, enough about that. But I'd like you all to leave a comment below as to what you think of these Mandalorian topics. What did you think of the Bad Batch episode? I do try to read every comment and respond to as many as I can. One day I hope to make this channel my full-time job, in which I will be much more active in the comments. We have this whole no cell phone policy at work, and being a supervisor, I have to lead by example. Yeah, it's an outdated policy, but what can you do? But that's all I have for now. And before you go, another quick word from our sponsor, me. Hit the subscribe button, give the video a like. I'm really trying to hit 50,000 subscribers, and I'd like you all to be a part of the next phase of this channel. The YouTube algorithm is more difficult than separating a Toydarian from his money, but together we can conquer it. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, and positivity in the Star Wars community should be the only way.